with music. Hit it!
Jason and the Pussycats. We got guitars and pirate hats, long swords and treasure maps. North, south, east, and west. We got tattoos on our chest.
Except for Larry.
Yo, 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 it's MC Meatball on the mic, here for another episode of the Zoomer Tombstone Podcast. We had to cave into the demands of the woke mob, and now we have a girl on the podcast. Introduce yourself, girl.
Hi, it's me, Mad. You might recognize my voice from the iconic Doug Funny 2 Electric Boogaloo abridge that we did recently.
Who would make something really stupid like that?
Yeah, gee, I wonder who could possibly make a video like that.
Some hackneyed idiot, for sure.
Why is there a femoid in our recording booth, Ivan? We did not agree to this.
My name is Shitspoon420, and I subscribe to your your Patreon. Why is there a woman here? I thought this was a woman-free space. Ugh, moids, am I right?
Yeah, I was
I'm just happy to be one of the boys. I just want you guys to pick me, and I'm very honored.
Girls
just know
stink.
I am not like one of those girls that you are thinking of right now. You know those girls.
Yeah, she's a based and red-pilled gamer girl. Now, anyways, before I kill myself, let's say about what we're talking about. So, what are we reviewing today?
Jason
Synth?
and the Pussycats.
Yeah, Josie and the Pussycats.
And pirate hats.
Yeah, see,
From
she got the
2001.
reference. Not you, Ivan.
Look, I'm sorry I'm uncultured. I went to film school, okay? I'm a fucking barbarian.
You don't remember the season 3 premiere of Fairly Odd Parents Shelf Life, where Timmy Turner goes into all the books and they have the Josie and the Pussycats reference?
You are so autistic. How do you know that?
That's like common knowledge, dude.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer is the villain for the entire episode.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I remember that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
His whole motivation is that he doesn't want to go back to Missouri.
Yeah. While you were in film
that's
school,
justified.
I learned that in STEM.
The fuck? STEM?
Yeah, I learned that episode in STEM.
Did you even go to college?
I go to a trade school. All right, I'm a working class hero, a working class heroine, so to speak.
Yeah.
The only working class heroin around here is actual heroin.
Next review, train spotting.
God.
Who needs college when you got street smarts like me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only STEM you know of is the stem of your bong, you fucking stoner. Weed. Weed. Hey guys, I'm Seth Rogen. I smoke weed.
Dude, I watched Funny People on Netflix a couple nights ago. That's a solid ass movie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
good
watching
movie.
it on Adult Swim.
I unsubscribed from Netflix because I'm out of money.
Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of, I remember Zoe Deschanel was in Funny People.
Chanel.
Douche Chanel. But she was one of the people who they consider for the role of Josie in this movie.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I can see that. Yeah.
I can see it. Whenever I think of Zoe Deschanel, I always think of like the 2010s and like the whole like hipster era of like fashion and stuff for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the era of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish a girl would notice me playing the Xbox at Target and introduce herself to me and take me on a wild ride.
God, I wish a quirky gamer girl with streaks in her hair would suck my dick on the spot at GameStop. It would be so poggers.
But she has to have big tits.
Ugh, God. There's people that actually exist that are like that.
Yes, I know. I've met them.
Oh, God, they actually, like, yeah, well, of course they exist.
Yes, of course I would meet them, yeah. Look where I am now.
You're so lucky. Like, if I was you, I would just get so many simps to like buy me shit. Like, I'm actually like jealous. Like, God.
Well, why don't you transition then, Synth?
Because
You
I
can
wouldn't
become
get-
a manic
probably
pixie
find
dream
even
girl.
More.
I don't know. I don't think I would be a hot girl.
Damn, self-esteem issues on the podcast.
And also,
All
it's
right.
just like, look, no offense, but it's like girls suck. They can't stand up when they pee. So why would I want to do that?
Hey, you know that like device that they sell to women that's like a cup that like lets them pee like dudes? Pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Did you look that up?
Just get a pony
That's
just
just
get a pony cum jar or something and piss in that. It's like it's not that hard to just like lodge it up there.
And
I
it
love
wouldn't
my
be
cum jar.
it wouldn't be a cum jar, it'd be a piss jar.
Yeah, it would be a gamer girl piss jar with something else in it.
Can you
Ugh.
guys like talk about Josie and the Pussycats? I've been waiting here for 5 minutes, and
I'll put an Alan M figurine in my gamer girl piss jar.
Your Alan M.
Yeah, iconic character Alan M.
Oh,
Yeah, Alan M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Alan
And-
B or C or Z. Alan motherfucking M.
Now it's funny you say that because so Josie first appeared in like an Archie comic, I believe. Then she had her own spin-off called She's Josie, and originally she didn't even have a rock band, and she had like different friends. Before Alan M, there was Alex, who was more like a beatnik type, who was like this like skinny dude. But I guess like in like '69 they revamped the sort of style of the Josie comic book to give her a band, and they scrapped that character completely with the muscular, more jock like Alan M. So I feel like a lot of like traditionalist return to tradition Josie fans would probably not dig this movie because they don't have like a lot of the like really old characters like Pepper or Alex. Hey guys, Synth here. I don't like to do these like post-edit recordings, but I need to apologize for getting some Josie and the Pussycats lore wrong. His name wasn't actually Alex, it was Albert. I was getting him mixed up with the Josie and the Pussycats manager, Alex. So, I actually feel a lot of shame because I pride myself as someone who knows a lot about the publication history of Josie and the Pussycats. So, I'm going to stick this shotgun in my mouth and... What?
I was actually thinking about that when I watched this movie because I know nothing about Josie lore or anything like that. I don't know anything about the
stupid.
I don't know anything about the Archie comics or anything like that. But the first thing I noticed about this movie was this kind of feels like in a similar vein to a lot of those like modern reboots that we see a lot, except it's like a modern reboot from 2001. Which weirdly does things really well. Like it's a really good movie. But it just, I don't know. It has that kind of like vibe to it. So I can imagine people in like 2001 who are like diehard Archie or diehard Josie fans would probably watch this and be like, huh, this is way different. I don't like this. And then just shrug the whole movie off immediately.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I to be fair, I was kind of, lampooning a bit, but if I have to say something, like a lot of like reboots nowadays like try to make everything like super serious or dark, whereas I feel like a lot of the sort of like reboots of 60s properties in the 90s in the early 2000s, like the Brady Bunch movie or the Addams Family Values series, and
Scooby-Doo movies.
It's like
Fred Flintstone movies.
Yeah.
And
it's
actually, these directors, it's a husband and wife duo. They actually also directed the Brady Bunch sequel and the Flintstones sequel, Viva Rock Vegas.
See, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
because
I haven't seen Viva Rock Vegas, but I have seen the Brady Bunch sequel, and yeah, these people definitely have an eye for parody when it comes to these properties. Like they really go there in those Brady Bunch movies.
Well, it's like it's not a full on spoof. It's kind of like a mix, but it's like it keeps the kitsch from like the 1960s while also still being like aware enough. But it does it in a very tasteful manner. That's why I regard the Brady Bunch movies as probably like one of my personal favorite movies.
I've
Yeah.
never seen them, but I can kind of get that same vibe from this movie too.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause,
this was the vibe at the time because you notice there's a lot of movies around that time that came out that are very nostalgic of the 60s. Like they were in like a weird nostalgia cycle then because that like it was like 30 years ago at that point,
mhm.
and it's become like so much more kitsch because of that. It's like, oh wow, people said groovy, they wore the go-go boots and like weird leopard print everywhere, like weird
Yeah.
ascots. Yeah.
And the main thing that I like to kind of compare the Josie and the Pussycats from 2001 to is Starship Troopers
Hmm.
by fucking Paul Verhoeven, because
Yeah.
it just has that same sort of like satirical edge to it, while
Mhm.
also being a really faithful adaptation of Josie of like the original IP.
I thought you were
You
going
know,
to
it's
say
it's
adaptation of Josie and the Pussycats.
well, in reference to the movie, yes, it is. And that's like kind of crazy to think about that they were able to do it in such like a tasteful manner while also kind of like jabbing a knife in its rib cage at the same time, like you know this is a old thing, we're gonna make fun of this old thing because of how stupid it is, but also this is the thing that's gonna make everyone know what this old thing is and appreciate it more.
I mean, wasn't Starship Troopers the book like pro-fascism, whereas the movie was more
Yeah.
tongue-in-cheek about it? So,
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I
okay.
mean the movie in its like I guess fictional messaging within the movie's world itself was supposed to be pro-fascist, but the actual like the way it's presented to us is like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Okay. And going back to maybe more like the 60s TV shows that got like rebooted as 90s and 2000s movies,
Hmm.
I always had more respect for this kind of era of nostalgic rehashes because it's like they keep the kitschness while still like having something of substance. Whereas I feel like a lot of the nostalgic rehashing of 80s properties is it's basically just having the property without
It's
anything
Yeah.
else.
soulless.
Like the
It's soulless.
Ghostbusters Afterlife movie, which like
Yeah,
it doesn't have any of the charm or quirks of the 80s one. It like takes itself too seriously.
I was
And it
actually going to
ends up
mention
being
that.
embarrassing.
I was actually going to mention that just a second ago. The Ghostbusters reboots are absolutely nothing like the original movie. Honestly, I think in my opinion, the Ghostbusters series should have ended with the first movie or the second movie. Because
Well,
you just don't have that sort of like kind of comedic irony that's in that movie anymore. It's just like, oh, this is a new IP. They're trying to like Force Awakens the Ghostbusters movies, and I think
well,
that happens so much nowadays with
Hmm.
reboots, and it just feels soulless.
Well, to be fair, like Ghostbusters 2016, it falls flat because, quite frankly, it just wasn't like that funny of a movie. Regardless of all the stupid anti SJW nerds out there, but
Yeah,
the 2016 movie at least like tried to keep the spirit of the 80s movies. The Ghostbusters Afterlife, that one was just so fucking embarrassing to watch because it was like it just fucking took
it's
itself
like
too seriously. I mean, it's fucking Ghostbusters.
it's like an unironic adventure movie slash coming of age film, and it just makes no sense for like the Ghostbusters IP. You know what I would have appreciated? I would have appreciated a Ghostbusters movie where it was just old Bill Murray looking grizzled as shit, being just an asshole to all of his employees and running like a franchise or something of like the Ghostbusters, and they're just all a bunch of dickheads, fucking grizzled and whatever. And it's more about the like office politics of being old and running a company and just like the life of that than it is actually like being these like Ghostbuster hero type characters. Because like
Yeah.
frankly, they make it seem like having like the Ghostbusters like suit and the thing is like being a fucking Jedi. It's not. It's a job. In the
Yeah.
original movie, it was like being a plumber
Well,
or
yeah,
like a
yeah,
firefighter.
because all those because like little nerdy kids in the 80s watched the Ghostbusters movie and then they grew up to like make movies like 30 years later, but they still have that like child's interpretation of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rose tinted glasses.
And that's why And that's why I draw the line between that sort of nostalgia and the sort of 60s to 90s nostalgia, because it's like the people who made Brady Bunch, this movie, Addams Family, all that stuff, they got it. They understood the intentions of those like franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the new nostalgic people, they're just fucking like, oh, here is Slimer. That's all I need. That Slimer means a lot to me. It's like Slimer in a way is kind of like an anti-hero if you really think about it.
They're just trying to like paint meaning on things that are meaningless, and they're trying to like do a bunch of callbacks because they think callbacks are equivalent to a story.
It insists upon itself.
Yeah.
It insists upon itself. It does. This, however, does not. Josie and the Pussycats is actually a very, I mean, it holds up to this day, and that's another big thing about those nostalgic 60s films from the 90s, is that a lot of them hold up, like, now.
What I really like about them is that they're very of their time, but especially with Josie in particular, it's very ahead of its time. Like how we were saying, like it does feel like it could be like an authentic, like satirical, retro, thing that would be made like in the modern day,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like that.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of 60s nostalgia, but also it cakes itself in, the late 90s, early 2000s era, because that's like its own kind of like era in particular,
Yeah, and it kind of puts these characters from like a 60s cartoon / comic, and it puts it into this world, this modern world of high extreme corporatism. Everything is branded. It got to a point in the movie where it was like idiocracy.
Everything's being puppeted by these deeply cynical, insecure people.
Yeah, like everything is a ploy to sell products.
Yeah. And a government psyop too, to develop mind controlling technology.
Yeah,
and then the government just throws the fucking business people under the bus.
Yeah. It's like somebody's got to take the fall. We're not going to take the fall.
And I love how, like, in the video and like the layer of the recording studio or recording label, they they have like Eugene Levy from the American Pie series explain the entire purpose of the whole project, and they're just like, well, kids, they don't have to pay rent, they don't have to do anything, they just sometimes they work a minimum wage job, so all they can really do is consume and purchase, and they don't want to because they're all cynical, so let's subliminally brainwash these kids to buying our products because it'll boost the economy. Ain't America badass?
The one agent, Wyatt, when he's in the record store and he has a conversation with like this goth punk chick, and she's like, she's like above like this like pop music.
I love that
shit.
part.
Yeah, and he like talks on his phone. He's like, "We got Smells Like Teen Spirit here."
Yeah, they just abduct her and throw her into a van, and then as soon as the van pulls away, you can see the MTV.com URL like drawn on the wall behind them.
Yeah, I love Killer Carson Daly.
Yeah, they got real Carson Daly for that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, him and Tara Reid, who's playing Melody, were actually like dating at the time.
Tara Reid, I forgot that she was like really good in this movie. Like she's actually like a good actress.
Yeah, she's the only one that they just like gave the role, like because they worked with her. They worked with her in another movie that they made. It was another 90s teen comedy. Can't Hardly Wait. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's one of their like best work. Like all these directors' work, the husband and wife duo, is consistently entertaining. Even like their kind of bad movies, like Viva Rock Vegas, or they made like a Christmas movie after this with Ben Affleck and James Gandolfini.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the trailer and
Daredevil Christmas.
Yeah, a Daredevil Christmas. A Daredevil and Tony Soprano Christmas.
Well, Tony Soprano would play the Kingpin.
Yeah, he's like just like some dad who now like lives in Ben Affleck's old childhood home, and he wanted to return to the home for the holidays, and he finds his family. He's like, I'll pay you like $250,000 just to let me live here and torment you. And they're like, okay.
Does Ben Affleck like leave a bunch of like cars on the floor?
There's a part where in the trailer that I watched where he's trying to do like the slide down the staircase thing, but because he's now like a grown man, he just breaks it, and I think it gets lodged in his dick or something.
Awesome.
Oh, classic Affleck.
Yeah.
That is cinema right there.
Slapstick icon Ben Affleck.
Slapstick Affleck. Slapstick Affleck.
That's what they call him back in Boston.
But yeah, I love how like there's a lot of symbolism in Josie and the Pussycats that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the record label hires Carson Daly to kill the other Pussycats. Yeah, that's like a you know, when you think about that in like a kind of meta level, that is a record label hiring a talk show host to kill a band, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know,
and they would often get these guys back then to kind of like mock these like famous stars, you know, and like talk incessantly about like, oh my God, Britney Spears got her belly button pierced.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy looking back at it, how big celebrity culture used to be back then. It's almost like America had nothing better to do but to listen to you know, just all these like paparazzi people saying like, whoa, this celebrity got her pubes trimmed, and they're just like, oh my God, you know.
This was before like 9/11.
Yeah, like
which is weird because the movie like opens with like a plane crash.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of plane crashes, I know like some other people that they considered for Valerie were Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash, and Lisa Left Eye Lopez of TLC, who died in a car crash. And then they also considered Beyonce, and they actually said that Beyonce was too shy for the role. Yeah, but back then, yeah, because when she was still in Destiny's Child, and she was a lot more reserved back then. And they said that Aaliyah was too serious.
It's kind of funny how in this movie they even point out the fact that like the record labels use like accidents to like win away that way.
Yeah, I like the subtle joke that Wyatt says before he you know, casts DeJour like away. You know, he says, "Take the Chevy to the levee," which is a reference to American Pie, the song, and like that song is about like the death of like Billie Holiday, and you know, the day that music died.
He fucked the pie.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, I had to do it.
All the way.
Yeah,
it's about fucking the pie.
It's about sticking your penis in a pie and fucking it. That's what it's about.
Is this real? Our first episode with a female co-host, and we talk about fucking the pie.
Look, listen.
Listen, I heard a guy in high school say that he would fuck a cantaloupe if it was warm, okay? I've been around the block, okay?
Did he? Did he do it?
Did he do
it?
He probably did. I don't know.
Did he do it?
Good
Proof.
Lord.
I'm gonna need proof. Is there a picture of it?
No, Synth.
The last time I saw him was at a Slipknot concert. I just like ran into him randomly, and he used to have like short hair, and he's a white guy too, and he grew it out into like really long dreads over the last like 2 years since we graduated. At the time,
so he fucks dogs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
The dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This guy also, I remember, because it was my senior year, the 2016 election. And yeah, I was old enough to vote in that election, and like some of the other ones were too. So like
really?
we were a little bit more invested. Yeah.
I was 16 back then.
Yeah,
you were a stupid baby.
I was a stupid baby man.
I turned 18 in October, so I turned 18 like 5 days away before like the cutoff date for like registering to vote. And I remember like the day after I turned 18, me and my mom went to the DMV and I got registered and everything. I'm like, Mom, I want to vote in this election.
Did you vote for Lincoln Chafee?
No, she voted for Trump.
No, I voted for Jill Stein.
Oh my God!
Wow.
You've condemned us to 4 years of hell.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You
I should have voted for
Trump.
Oh God, Gary Johnson's worse. Libertarians are crazy these days.
Yeah. Well, like he was like less crazy than some of them. I remember like they like made fun of him because he thought like requiring a license to drive was like not like overkill.
I mean,
what do we need next? A license to use our toaster?
I mean, it is stupid to have a license when driving. Like, why can't I just like use my phone or something to like prove? You know, it's like why do I need this stupid little thing? You know, He's not wrong.
You know, my only question for Gary Johnson is, what is Aleppo?
What? I don't know. What is it?
What is Aleppo? I'm asking you guys.
I don't know. What is Aleppo?
Yeah, exactly. What is Aleppo?
I don't know what a Lizzo is.
That's a sorry, audience.
a
that's
lep-
a rep.
A
It's
lep,
huh?
what's it called? A leper, like people with leprosy.
No. It was a reference to how like someone questioned Gary Johnson about like Syria, and
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
city in Syria called Aleppo.
Uh,
And when he was asked about like, do you know the situation in Aleppo? He was like, what's Aleppo?
See, that's why Gary Johnson should be president. It's like, look, I'm an American. Okay, I don't give a shit what's happening over there. Okay, like that. Like to me, having a president who's ignorant, that's got my vote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ignorance wins the day. That's why Synth is a straight down the line Trump supporter.
Yeah, look, if Donald Trump goes to jail, I will literally cry.
I can guarantee, at the next ballot, if they put something down like "make sidewalks illegal," we need a fourth lane, then that's gonna be the vote that Synth casts. Anyway,
Wait.
hey.
You guys want to hear my pro Donald Trump rap?
Okay, all right, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yo, I love the DT. Getting a golden shower at Trump Tower. That's all I got so far, but it's going to be a hit, and it's going to be so good they're going to release Donald Trump.
Yo, free DJT. I went down to the dollar store and they said something bad about me. I wore a shirt that said "kill all gays." They told me to get out of the store and I said, "You'll need some mace."
Whoa, dude. Man, and they say rap is not poetry.
Yo, MC Meat on the mic. I went to Target and I saw things I didn't like. I cried in the bathroom and slit my wrists. I posted to Twitter and Elon retweeted this.
Dude, I went into like the women's section of Target. I looked at the tampons and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? They're selling this at Target? Whoa.
Wow, that should be illegal. They need to wear like a cloth or something to cover themselves when they go into
Yeah.
public.
Like, I
and a
don't
scarlet
like,
letter whenever they're on their period, just to warn everybody ahead. It's like, oh, this bitch is on the rag. Watch out. She's
God.
ragging.
I hate this country. I hate this country so much.
No, you don't. You love America.
Yeah, the only thing I love about America is that there's, I guess, actually, I don't know.
There's an Arby's.
Arby's.
There's a slight semblance of stability that's eroding more and more.
I mean, yeah, there's money, I guess.
Yeah.
If you like money.
Yeah.
There's a relative low risk of catching malaria or something.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
giant poisonous spiders like in some other countries,
Yeah,
like
Australia.
Australia. Yeah.
That fucking wasteland.
Yeah. You
Anyways.
know what? Wait. Let's all do the Pledge of Allegiance right now.
I pledge allegiance to the bag of the United States of my wallet, and for the republic for which it stands, one paycheck under my ass in my wallet, indivisible, with bling and rocks for all.
This
Amen.
is like a really shitty like Blink 182 like opening.
I'm being subversive.
But anyways, going back to the movie,
Read out those notes.
I just loved how like everything had like a branding on it.
Yeah.
Everything.
They didn't even
And-
get paid for that.
Yeah, they did not receive a single penny in product placement, which is probably how they're able to get away with a lot of that stuff. Because if those companies were actually paying them, they would probably be breathing down their neck and being like, "Oh no, don't do that. No, this doesn't light my brand up in a completely positive light." You know, because
Mhm.
I know the story about like from our boy Kevin Smith, my favorite man, Kevin Smith.
Man, he's
Yeah.
just like me for real.
Yeah, just like me, for real. He's a nerd from Jersey. But he when he was doing Clerks the animated series, and he did like his little skit about the McDonald's mascots. Like, of course, he had to like get like permission from McDonald's to like do all this and like work with them, and I guess they were paying him for it. And they had a problem at first with the statement "nothing can kill the grimace." You know, when they're the mayor's like talking about, you know, like whatever it is.
That's what they had a problem with.
Yeah, but like Kevin Smith like talked to them and is like, no, you see, it's actually like positive because we're saying the grimace is so powerful and that McDonald's is so powerful that nothing can kill it. And they're like, oh, yeah, we like that.
Yeah, dude, that gave him so much confidence. Like, Grimace has his own Twitter page where he posts his dick every day.
No, I actually saw a Twitter post. I saw a Twitter post recently where it was like a fake McDonald's ad, and they said that they killed Grimace and turned him into patties, and they said they might be legally allowed to do it because he might be considered livestock.
They did cut his arms off. He used to have 4 arms.
Oh,
what
God.
the fuck is Grimace?
He's supposed to be the essence of a milkshake.
What the fuck is the essence of a milkshake?
Yeah.
Why does it
Do you
have
guys
fur?
not read the McDonald's mascot wiki on
No,
fandom?
because I'm not a brain dead consumer. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're not deeply entrenched in the deep lore of Grimace. Like you guys know about the Klasky Chuspo VHSs that they made and they were given away.
Yeah.
There's like this one that's all about like Grimace lore. They go to the Grimace Island and they meet like his family or something.
Wait, is that why a lot of those like early Nickelodeon tapes were yellow because they were McDonald's themed? Or
No, I think
McDonald's.
The orange one was Rugrats Go to Paris.
Yeah, like all the Nick
and the
movies were
SpongeBob
orange.
movie.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
SpongeBob movie.
Yeah.
The Monkey Bone VHS was blue.
Wait, Mad, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Can I call you a fucking idiot? Because we don't know the McDonald's lore. We know the Burger King Kingdom, which is superior, with Sir Shake-a-Lot and the Duke of Doubt in the Wizard of Fries.
Okay, but did you ever 100% Sneak King?
Dude, Sneak King is my favorite video game.
I mean, I've played Sneak King before. It's a gloriously bad game.
Shut the fuck up.
How about you fucking bite my nuts, you fucking gopher?
Didn't
expect that one, did you? Anyways, corporate mascots aside, I love how like every interior is like Target themed, and like in the airplane they had like sheets of Bounce dryer sheets.
Yeah, I like when Val
shelf.
is like watching the chief behind the music about the Captain Tennille, and she's like holding on to the Target doll, the Target dog doll, and just like petting it, and it's like she's using it to comfort her.
Yeah, like everything in this movie is branded in some way, and it's just amazing. There's like Revlon windows.
Yeah, there's Sega advertisements everywhere.
Even the agent's car, when he first found the band, had like Ray-Ban windshields.
You know, this movie got like criticized a lot by like dumbass like 60-year-old like New York Post fucking eggheads who were like, this movie's hypocritical because it's anti-corporate, but there's product placements everywhere. Like, they're just looking at it at so face value. And it's like, God, it's too stupid to understand.
Roger Ebert gave this movie 1 thumbs up. He understood it.
Yeah, Roger Ebert has like a big dick.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one non-lead poison boomer that was able to actually view the movie with an ounce of intelligence.
Not just him. Number 1 Josie and the Pussycats 2001 fan, Bono of U2. Yeah, no, the director said that like about a year after the movie came out, Bono went up to them and said that he really liked that movie and he understood it. And before social media and the whole cult status of like everybody watching this and being like, oh, this was secretly genius the whole time, they would always say that to each other, like, at least Bono got it.
Yeah, dude, Bono's a talented man. He was on The Simpsons.
It would at least make sense that he would get it because he's in the music industry.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like of these fucking like boomer critics, they saw the movie, they saw the aesthetic, they saw like women being funny, and they're like, oh, is this fucking Spice World or something? This is a bunch of girly shit.
It has Alan Cumming in it.
I'll be honest here. When I first like saw this movie as a kid, like I've seen it on like shelves and stuff, and on DVD and VHS and whatever, I always dismissed it as just being like, oh, this is a dumb girly movie, and I'm sure that's what a lot of these like old boomer critics did as well. They were just like, oh, this is a movie about women. It's three women that like each other and treat each other nice and help each other, and and it's got like anti-consumerist messaging. Yeah, obviously this is like lesbo shit. Am I right?
I mean,
Fucking
you were like
lame.
a dumb kid covered in pudding. Like those critics were like grown ass men. Like,
Hey.
okay, so don't blame
Hey.
yourself.
I was not covered in pudding. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not fucking putting fingers Ron over here. However, there is one funny story. All right, here's more Weird Ivan lore.
Oh, yeah.
One time I was eating some dinner as a kindergartner, right? And I flung barbecue sauce into my fucking eyeball, and it burned the shit out of me.
And that's your villain origin story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
it's such a weird thing to remember.
Well, it's hard to not remember it. It hurt.
I'm not trusting you to at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings, bro.
Look, I've been to Buffalo Wild Wings before, okay? Me and my friends all went there and play acted masculinity, all right? But let me tell you, I have a story about that place. I went there, I had just some normal wings, whatever, it was okay. My friend had spicy wings. They were like a Jamaican jerk, right? Hot Jamaican jerk wings. I ate like 3 of them, and I was on the shitter from 3 in the morning to 7 in the morning, and I was shaking by the time I got out. It fucking killed me. I don't know what the hell happened, but that was the worst experience of my life caused by food. But that was a horrible, horrible time. This was back in like 2019, and
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad I got that information. Wow.
you're
I
not
think-
a real man until you have a Buffalo Wild Wings story.
yeah, exactly.
Ivan destroys the Buffalo Wild Wing toilet with facts and logic.
No, it was we went home. I was home. This was like 3 hours after we came back from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was dying. I think I was actually dying of dehydration.
So is that like, how do you consider that to be like a weird Ivan lore story? Like, I'm sure that's common with a lot of guys who ate at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Look,
Like,
I
do you
can
think you're
guarantee
anything
you
special?
it's not common for men who go to Buffalo Wild Wings, because whenever they go to Buffalo Wild Wings, they also get ludicrously fucking belligerently drunk, and so they throw that shit back up. I had to process the whole gamut of it, and I'm pretty sure I had like acute food poisoning.
Oh, that's
Nobody
cool.
actually digests the food from Buffalo Wild Wings. It's always thrown back up later.
I think you have a very low opinion of the people who go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and quite frankly, it's a little insulting.
Look,
It's a
when you live in
A
when
little
you,
elitist, I think.
when you live in
Yeah.
a college town and every dude that goes to Buffalo Wild Wings is some like frat bro wearing a fucking sports jersey, and they're just like, woo, football. Like, yeah, you kind of develop a low opinion of them.
I'm sorry that you're such a fucking Mr. Gucci loafers over there with your German automobile, thinking you're fucking better than everyone else because you eat at, I don't know, like what's a fancy place? The Cheesecake Factory, huh? You too good for Buffalo, bitch?
What the fuck is a Cheesecake Factory?
You don't know the
Sure.
Cheesecake Factory?
Uh,
You've never
I've ne-
seen The Big Bang Theory?
I've
No.
never been.
Shut
that's where Penny works, okay? That's the spot for them, okay?
I've
Penny's
never actually
so
been to
hot.
a Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. I
Well,
haven't either.
What is it, like a Burlington Coat Factory?
No, it's like it's got the aesthetic of pretty much like Trump's like palaces that he lives in, you know?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
God.
that's exactly it.
So it's
Yeah.
very campy, garish, and cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it is
kind
the
of-
Cheesecake Factory.
It's like, imagine if Olive Garden, it's kind of like an Olive Garden thing where it's like you feel bougie, and it doesn't have a dress code or anything. So I
Yeah,
could wear
or
my
Red Lobster.
WWE Undertaker T-shirt at the
So,
the
like,
Cheesecake Factory.
So like, it's like kind of like fake bougie. So it's like, very middle class fancy. Like,
I mean, it
you
costs
know.
a lot, probably. Like it'll cost you some money.
So you go there and it like looks all cool. It's all themed nice and stuff, but all the columns are made out of like styrofoam.
I don't know. I think you're being a little elitist here again. Like, why can't you just like respect like institutions?
I don't respect institutions, man. I'm a fucking like communist. Shut up. I'm in my
Um,
early 20s and I hate life.
Oh, just watch a
Oh.
football game already.
Yeah.
I played football.
Wait. Who did you play football with again?
Shut the
What's
fuck
his
up.
name? Joe.
I'm gonna go take a piss. Be right back.
All
All right, have fun.
right. Guess it's just me and you, Mads.
All right.
All right.
Because you and me have steel bladders.
Yeah.
I'm like
so,
Ivan.
Yeah.
Fucking piss baby.
Yeah.
He thinks he's so fucking cool. He thinks he's so fucking cool. He talks a lot of big talk for someone with such a small mouth.
Yeah, he's a nerd, and honestly, you diss Buffalo Wild Wings, you disrespect this country. Okay, it's like hush, you little commie.
Yeah. The sacred
Um,
American institution of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. So have you seen the latest Paw Patrol trailer, Matt?
No, you were talking about it earlier. That you saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, that trailer looks so fucking hard.
It's a movie, right?
Yeah, it looks so badass, and
Yeah.
no cap, it looks straight up fire, and I think it's going to like dominate at the box office.
Is it a sequel? Because they made
Yeah.
another one, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Puss in Boots' Last Wish and Across the Spider-Verse are not going to compare at all to this new Paw Patrol movie coming out.
Yeah, dude. Paw Patrol? Like, goddamn, dude, that movie looks so fucking hardcore. I'm gonna wear my fucking suit when going into that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck wearing a suit to go see the latest Despicable Me spinoff. No, we're going to wear a suit to go see Paw Patrol, a real
Yeah.
man's movie.
Are you gonna see Barbie or Oppenheimer, or how you say that dude's name?
Oppenheimer, more like Spankenheimer from the Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Am I right, gamers?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Grandma's gonna sew the pants off of Santa. That's what
Grandma
Grandma's gonna do.
the ass by a reindeer.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate that movie, but that's for another episode. So like, I really
ass ate by a reindeer.
But would you fuck the grandma?
That depends. Will she make me cookies after?
no.
Yeah. She'll make her a famous fruitcake.
Ew.
Oh.
Hashtag grown zone.
Like Doug Walker reviewed that movie, and at one point he's like, "Is it just me, or is this grandma kind of hot?"
Oh my god!
Doug, top 10
Jesus.
hottest animated women.
All right, but
Top 10 animated gilfs.
Something I wanted to kind of point out about this, about Josie and the Pussycats, though, going back to this movie, is you kind of got a little return of the like the Mean Girls style, like girl cliques. You know, like all the girls that wore like pink and shit were just like running around like, I'm gonna buy the new fucking shit because what if people don't like me?
Yeah, those like rivals that they have at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, which
Yeah, and the Alexandra character too fits into that.
Yeah, she was played by Missy Pyle, who, always nice to see. She's always been in a lot of movies.
No, this is a great cast.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you guys notice at the beginning of the movie, White Goku was in one of the Screaming Teens?
No, I didn't.
Goku?
Yeah, I forget the actor's name, but he played Goku in the Dragon Ball Z movie that they made where like they were all white.
You know, there's actually a real blink and you miss it moment. At 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 18 seconds, you can clearly see Brian Cox, the actor who plays Logan Roy from Succession, at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just walks by. He has no lines or anything, but he's got the standard goatee. He walks past like the depressed boyfriend guy going like, "This is a song about a girl that I thought loved me," or whatever. And you can just see him walking by with like a mimosa or some shit from the bathroom.
Yeah, Logan Roy blew up the plane that the Jorn was in.
Also, the fact that one of the villains later on in the movie did like a Bill Cosby impression.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely wild foreshadowing. It's like a reality leak. But
Can we go back to talking about like the pudding thing?
The pudding thing?
When we were talking about like you said you're not like putting Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, I'm not putting fingers Ron.
Can we talk like how Trump came up with like Ron DeSantimonious or whatever, and it didn't work out, but the second he said Ron DeSantis like put his fingers in the pudding, that stuck around. Like
Or meatball Ron.
yeah, like meatball, like stupid shit like that gets his crowd all riled up.
Yeah, the little like wrestling nicknames that he gives his opponents, like Kim Jong Un. He's Rocket Man, and did he have like a funny nickname for Mitch McConnell, like Turtle Man or something?
I don't know, but like it's really funny how this guy who was like, you know, Donald Trump, he was like literally a jobber in WWE, just has like this habit now of creating like wrestler names for all of his like opponents.
Yeah, and he's also close friends with what's the name of the guy who runs the WWE?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're real close with each other.
How close?
Yeah.
Butt buddies, I don't know.
Yeah, Donald Trump is a butt pirate.
Yeah.
If I was
there's a clip of him like Rudy Giuliani in drag and
Oh yeah.
and like Trump like motorboat like his fake tits like he motorboats them and he's like kissing them and shit.
How did we elect that guy as president?
Shut up,
That's like
libtard.
I'm sorry, but that's like the trashiest, like, you know, 2001 Spike TV shit ever. Just, oh yeah, my best bro's got titties. You know, just, what the
And Jimmy
fuck?
Kimmel, Lauren trying to lure girls into like sucking his dick on the street.
Oh my god, dude. Oh.
Imagine like one of the Mansers questions were like, if your best bro had big massive titties, is it like straight to like, you know, suck on them?
I feel like that's what every like dude bro wishes for. It's just for their best friend to have tits.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it happens, they call it evil. What's going on, America?
Hashtag
The boner that I have is evil.
Yeah. My best friend is trans and has a boobies now. Why do I have a boner? That's evil. That's against God. But also, I secretly wanted this.
If I was at Trump's rally and I did not know who Ron DeSantis was, but Trump said that he put his fingers in the pudding, I would be so fucking mad. I'd be fucking fuming, blood stained eyes, you know.
You know, I
I'd be
imagine
like-
a lot of the critics of Josie and the Pussycats are probably like, it's probably an overlap with a lot of those types of people and the same like deranged lead poison boomers that just, you know, clap like a fucking otter when they're just like, oh, meatball Ron. Oh. You know, I feel like it's like that same type of people because, you know, these people grew up in a time with no subtlety. They grew up in a time where everything was just, you know, suburbs and, you know, this, that, whatever, fucking leave it to beaver bullshit. And then as soon as you have anything that criticizes that, they're just like, you know, what the fuck is this? This is stupid. But, you know, nowadays, you know, you show them like shapes and colors, you know, kindergarten shit, and they just go straight for it because they're like, I understood that. That's funny. They called him Meatball Ron because he looks sweaty or something. I don't know. He looks like a meatball.
I mean, I think you're just intimidated because Meatball Ron is stealing from you.
Oh yes, I'm so intimidated by the governor of Florida.
I liked his old videos of him like playing with like Trump merchandise in front of his baby.
Oh,
That was
God.
awesome.
Oh, speaking of corporate fucking branding and everything, you know, I think this movie back in like 2001 came from a, you know, in a weird way. When I watched this movie, I thought of it as kind of like a more innocent time, even though it's like almost to a dystopian level. Fucking everything is branded, like idiocracy levels. But like it's kind of innocent in a way because it's like, okay, at least back then it was just everything was like branded for corporations. They were trying to sell you something. Nowadays, it's like every company ever is trying to sell you politics, or they're trying to like sell you a political agenda, or like the political agenda is trying to sell merchandise. You know, like you get fucking people like Meatball Ron up in here, you know, these days, like actual politicians playing with other politicians' merchandise and trying to sell it as like a lifestyle brand. Everything is so like postmodern and obfuscated. It's just fucking crazy. Back then, it's like almost like a relief in looking at this world where everything is hyper corporate, because at least when you get something from a corporation, you know why they're giving it to you. And the reason why is because they want your money and they want to give you a product that'll make you part with your money. Nowadays, it's just everything is geared as like a way to siphon money from your pockets in aid to a like candidate or a political party or like ideology. It's end stage capitalist bullshit that we're living in, and it's almost a relief to see hyper capitalism in 2001. That's my black beret fucking film bro opinion.
Maybe I like it when corporations support an ethical cause, Evan. Okay.
Yeah, I love it when corporations like plaster their brands on like a wall, like it's a Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever, in support of like building the fucking border wall in Mexico.
I wish that McDonald's would just start sponsoring suspension bridges and public parks, and I want a big freaking like stadium that's just named after Pepsi.
Well,
I want a brand new one.
Well,
We already have that, don't we?
Yeah, that's like the Pepsi Center. Well, it's now the Ball Arena.
Yeah.
Hashtag Nuggets won.
In Atlanta, they have like this big giant Coca-Cola bottle statue, because I think that's where their headquarters is.
So in your description of this outlandish kind of like weird corporate hell world that you're describing, that's already like partially exists. It already partially exists. We live in a very boring dystopia, and seeing another boring dystopia in a slightly more lighthearted tone kind of feels like a breath of fresh air to me, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
I don't know. The government's more evil than some like the government's probably more evil than fucking like Pepsi or whatever.
Yeah. No, that I think this movie does get to that point a little bit, because they portray like the government officials that are involved in these conspiracies to control teenagers as kind of like banally evil,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like like Parker Posey's character Fiona, like she's just like kind of like reveling in just like how she's like puppeting like everything.
She's like a weird socialite, and that's actually another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie is her like portrayal as being this like weirdly uncomfortable like libertine socialite who's like mega rich, who just like creeps everyone out around her, and who's like extremely narcissistic. It's kind of funny how they kind of portray that like record label executive as being that kind of person, because you see those kinds of people in power everywhere at the highest echelons of places. They're all just so disconnected from reality that they don't even like seem like people.
Yeah.
I mean,
people whose like rock bottoms were like in high school, because that's like a whole part where like the big twist, where you find out that she actually has a lisp and she was wearing false teeth, and the other guy Wyatt, they both went to the same high school together, and he was the other like freak in the school. He was an albino who was overweight.
Right.
And he's putting on like a fake British accent, and like Alan Cummins like really British, and I love the like weird like American accent that he immediately puts on after that. It's like, yeah, I just like thought I sounded more attractive, with the British voice.
Right.
I mean, it's like people who are elite in the private sector are like these like insecure morons who got like lucky at some point. And they're kind of like, when shit goes bad for them, they kind of are set up to fail. Whereas compared to like the elites in the public sector are like these like skull and bones, like Yale, like eugenics projects, who are like, they kind of like keep the private sector like fish, like as like, in case of emergency, throw fish to like an angry public. Am I making sense here, or am I being autistic?
I mean, yeah, you're making some sense here. Although, I think in the public sector, I think the reason why I'm not so quick to judge the government as much as I am to judge the private sectors, the government has the opportunity to be better than it currently is, because it is at some level beholden to the public, and that people, if people really wanted to get change to happen, they could in some aspect, not completely, not radically overnight. but they could. But like the public sector is just all these like narcissistic fail sons and fail daughters who just all, like
Fail
you
they
said,
thems.
yeah, and fail they thems. They all just got together and they got rich and they got powerful purely by luck almost, or by connections or by narcissism or whatever. And they just live in this entirely different world than most other people live in. At least some government officials, you know, came from Podunk, who gives a fuck land, Utah or whatever. And, you know, they have some semblance of grounding to reality at some points, even when they're being fucking evil. You know, Mitch McConnell, he's evil, yeah, but he's evil because he wants to keep his house in Kentucky. He's not evil because he's like some disconnected socialite. He's evil because he's like a racist Kentucky guy from like the 60s who wants to keep his big white house and his big white car and his big white community. And
Well,
And his
I'm just
beautiful
glad-
Asian wife.
and his beautiful Asian wife.
The hypocrisy.
But like you get these public sector people that kind of are exemplified as from this character in the movie, the record label lady, who are just these creepy socialites that like get weirdly close to people, and they're all just like secretly like attention starved freaks. And I guess that's kind of why I always rail against the corporate aspect of things a bit more, because a lot of those people who run companies, you know, like the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, are
Elon.
just downright fucking lizards. Like they're sociopathic to a degree where they are almost not human.
Oh yeah,
mean-
like one of Mark Zuckerberg's like early like projects that he did is that he made a website where he just like took all like the girls in his college's like yearbook photos without them knowing and like put them on a website so that everybody can rank about like who's the hottest one.
Which is a total ripoff
Buffalo
of,
Wild Wings bro moment.
Yeah, that's what the frat bro from Buffalo Wild Wings that you see like getting drunk on every Sunday night during Sunday Night Football. They're just secretly, that's what would happen if you gave one of them $1 billion. They'd just be like, what if I made a website where all the girls in my college, I could rank their titties from best to worst.
But it's even worse with Mark Zuckerberg because he's not a bro, you know. He's a nerd.
Yeah, so he had access to the internet, and he was able to actually do his things instead of just shooting the shit with the boys before passing out from drinking too much Miller Lite.
You know, when we're talking about these like sort of like creepy elitist, I'm glad that the CEO of Twitter is a down to earth guy who's totally relatable and who, you know, is totally not a fucking depraved psychopath.
Yeah, absolutely. Elon Musk is the exemplar, the fucking like Primarch example of a well-adjusted person.
He's so quirky, you know. It's like I just love that guy.
Yeah,
Like,
you know.
I could be friends with him totally.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
likes
I
wish he
anime
was
and
my
art
friend.
and video games.
He's like one of the bros. He plays Xbox, and he got a lot of his money from South African emerald mines. You know, he's profited from slave labor. Just like
Dude,
one of us, man.
He likes memes, you know.
He likes memes. He browses Reddit.
Oh, dude, he's so cool.
He likes coming in girls unprotected.
Yeah, he likes busting a nut without a wrap on.
Hell yeah.
He's just like us. Hell yeah, brother. I'm gonna buy all the Teslers I can.
Dude, he like spams. He like gives like Tucker Carlson, puts him on like everyone's TL, and he's like, "Okay, guys, I'm trying to make Twitter like fair and not biased."
Someone fucking says like, Mr. Elon, there was a feminist on my timeline. Concerning. Looking into this.
There's like a post about like why we need a race war because the ancient Atlanteans demand like the blood of like minorities, and Elon responds, interesting.
Oh god. But yeah, we're getting really off track from the movie, but
Yeah.
I mean, it all kind of relates to it in the end, because, you know, just that sort of creepy socialite culture I just absolutely hate. And, you know, I think at some point when you have like enough money, you just go insane.
Oh yeah.
Like you detach
Yeah.
from reality at some point, and I think that's kind of shown here. 'Cause,
Elon Musk should give me his money.
yeah, Elon Musk should give me his money too.
Yeah, it's like, maybe you would be like less fucking weird, bro. Just give it to me.
He should pay for our Twitter Blue accounts.
Yeah.
Ugh. But
I heard that he was doing that with like some people. Like
people that
he-
are critical of Twitter Blue.
yeah, well, he paid for, well, also just so that like the biggest like celebrities ever and the biggest tweeters still have like their blue tick next to them, and it's like, yep, they're legit. Like, yeah, like he was paying for like LeBron James like Twitter Blue or something. I know he was paying for Stephen King's Twitter Blue, which is really funny to me because I know they
Dude.
get into a lot of Twitter arguments.
Elon's
Mhm.
such a little bitch because it's like he's like, Stephen King, I'm still a fan of your work. It's like, God, just stop being so Reddit, bro.
But going back to the movie, I really enjoyed how like rock bands and like pop culture as a whole, just ended up being a means to advertise to kids, to stimulate the economy. I've mentioned this before, but like I just love that part because it really is just as simple as that. And going back to like the banality of evil from like the government, like when you think about the actual goal and initiative of the government in this movie, it was just, we want the economy to grow, so they just brainwash kids to buy shit, which kind of reflects reality because I'm sure that's why a lot of this type of like extreme branding to kids, to those poor millennial kids, happen in the 80s and 90s. Because when you think about it, like, why do you think the Ghostbusters sucks nowadays? It's because of branding.
Yeah.
It was marketed to kids, and those kids, play with their action figures, and they were like, "Well, the Ghostbusters, they're heroes, and they save that." They don't process the media, they don't process the art, they just process the toys.
Yeah. I know that I always thought it was funny how like RoboCop was kind of like an 80s like kid figure, even though the very first like RoboCop movie is R-rated and very harsh and also deeply like anti-fascist and anti-consumerist and anti-police.
Yeah. It's actually insane how much they
literally
did that.
turned this man into a killer robot.
Yeah, they turned him into a killer robot, and they turned him into like an action figure, and they branded him like a video game. I remember, like,
yeah, I think he got a cartoon. Yeah, but they started like marketing him more towards kids, and I think, I also think like parents would just like take their kid to go see RoboCop, even though it was R-rated.
They still do that nowadays with the branding, at least, because I think RoboCop was in Mortal Kombat.
Hey, can you like stop being so judgmental? Like, how do you know that the video game or the cartoon like didn't have the same message as the movie? Like have you seen the cartoon?
I've played the game. I played the SNES game of RoboCop back in the day, and it's just a brawler. You just shoot bad guys.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, an R-rated movie could have a video game. Okay, let RoboCop have a video game.
Do you get to shoot drug addicts in the RoboCop game?
Yeah.
Good.
Good. So, this meme made by Ronald Reagan gang.
The Nancy Reagan gang.
Kill your local drug dealer.
Wait,
this is your brain on drugs.
Isn't the biggest drug dealer like Reagan and H.W. Bush with all the crack they spread around like the inner cities and like
don't talk about that. Don't talk about that.
Don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. We can't let our audience know that the biggest people against the drug war were actually the biggest proponents of drugs in the war.
Look, I need a little bit of crack. I'm HW.
Hey, this is George H.W. Bush. My code name is Mr. Black in the CIA. I just sold crack to 47 neighborhoods across the American urban cities. I hate people that look different than me.
One time I saw my son George W. Bush smoking crack, and I was like, good boy. But my other son, Jeb, that loser, he refused to smoke the crack. And I was like, you're a little pussy, Jeb. I hate you.
Jeb, you little hot dog, you better smoke your crack like Georgie does, or else you won't go fast enough to win the election.
Now, listen here. You might think George H.W. Bush is a square. Well, let me tell you something, kids. I know a lot about rock and roll. I have a guitar. Watch me jam. 1, 2, 3, 4, rock around clock.
That's what the power of the Josie and the Pussycats movie will do to you.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're on
Josie and the
crack.
Pussycats.
By the way, I love how the producer guy is like consistently racist to the one of the Pussycats.
Oh yeah, I remember he's like, and one is considerably tan.
Yeah, he's like, he excludes her from stuff. He like almost drives away in the car. He like, says like, "Oh, you're also invited. Might as well come. Whatever to the event that you're performing in."
Top 10 jokes you can't do today. Number 1, Josie and the Pussycats.
My favorite joke from this movie that you wouldn't see in a movie nowadays is the Chinese guy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
She's outlining her plan for like getting the subliminal messages across to every teenager and brainwashing them, and she's just like, "Look, the Chinese guy knows what I'm talking about." And he nods. He's like, "Yeah, I know."
Hey, I laughed.
I thought that was also kind of an example of how she was being casually racist.
Yeah.
Because, when she was on the phone earlier in that scene, she was like, "Oh, I gotta talk to all these fucking foreigners." And then they're all just standing right there behind her.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I thought that the Chinese joke was funny too, because, like, a part of the reason why like these movies have gotten like so bland nowadays, like these nostalgia movies, like these new Ghostbuster movies, is that they're trying to keep it watered down so that they can still like show it in like countries like China and Russia that are deeply entrenched in censorship, and
Yeah.
like, and with Ghostbusters too, it's like, how are you gonna market this movie in China where like you're not allowed to have like ghosts in the movies?
This just in, globalism killed movies.
Globalism killed Josie and the Pussycats.
But no,
Alex
like,
Jones and the Pussycats.
it is kind of funny how a lot of movies are kind of censor themselves to just be sold elsewhere in like foreign markets that are like way more restrictive than we are. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like if you're gonna do a beloved quote unquote 80s property or 90s property or whatever as like a nostalgia thing, you need to just go full balls to the wall and go with it. You need to fucking make a movie here. You need to, you can't just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna make something that's gonna be palatable to China," like everything Disney ever makes. And I get that like China's like a massive untapped market for these like people to dump their money into, but if you're gonna keep making these shitty movies and you're gonna keep trying to shovel them to China and they get shitty reviews, they're just panned everywhere, that same criticism will come from those places too. Like, you're not gonna sell more copies after kowtowing to them. If anything, you would probably do better to make a movie that was like aimed towards American audiences, that was actually like done well,
Yeah.
that
Like,
was
people-
localized in
Yeah.
China or Russia.
Yeah, people in these countries aren't as whipped as like some people think,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole black market where they trade like American movies
Oh yeah.
illegally to
Yeah.
try and like get them around.
Yeah, I one of the guys that I follow is like a gay furry Russian, and
Oh wow, how's he
yeah.
doing?
That's literally
Um,
all of them.
Yeah, well, of course he's in the closet, and he doesn't get laid that often because it's illegal, and it's all backdoor lover,
God.
like backdoor politics, yeah. Yeah, and I think he has to like use like VPNs and stuff like that so that his service providers don't see that he's like playing all these like furry VPNs.
Furry VPNs.
Oh wait, no, I meant visual novels. Yeah, VNs. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, furry
Imagine-
VPNs.
Imagine being like a Russian and it's like your water will literally like fucking like destroy your intestines, but the government's more concerned about some guy like watching like an episode of like Will and Grace or something.
Yeah, or
I mean, that's how it is. Like, that's how it's kind of becoming in America and like some places like Florida and Texas. It's like, yeah, in Texas, every time winter comes around, all of our power shuts off and we die. And, every time there's a hurricane in Florida, everyone's house gets destroyed, and the sea level's rising to a point where like entire like portions of Florida are disappearing as we fucking speak. But what about gay people? Just let's worry about gay people are bad, right? Am I right, guys? Yeah, ha, applause. Like your whole state is collapsing around you. People are dying. There's problems that are irreconcilable, and the government is just throwing people these like bread and circus fucking culture war issues.
Dude, maybe poor people deserve to be exploited, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah, maybe poor people do deserve to be, have subliminal messages in their media that just make them want to spend all their loose money on useless shit.
Look, you guys might be voting for Gary Johnson and might hold that belief, but I'm sorry, I can't agree to that.
Look, man, I mean, look, it's like poor people. It's like they're offered like free healthcare. Like, no, they're offered like fucking like, oh, let's make the climate better. No, start a war and kill your gay neighbors. Yeah. I'm not rich, so I guess I shouldn't say this, but it's like I kind of just wish like, people around our class would just be as sophisticated as us, but they're just not. They're just ignorant, and that just really, really hurts my feelings.
I mean, most of these like crazy conservative types are not like they're not par for the course. They're not like the majority of poor people.
Oh yeah, they're gonna like leave in 20. They're gonna die in like 10 years because they're so old.
I mean, yeah, most of them are gonna die in 10 years because they're like fucking in their 70s and 80s. But also like
they smoke 2 packs a day.
Yeah, they smoke 2 packs a day. They require like fucking like Percocet to function. They work 40 hours a week at like fucking Burger King as a manager, and they're just like, oh yeah, I work all the time. Let me pop 2 Percocets and drink some vodka. They keep going.
They don't even work. They got Social Security checks.
You think?
Well, okay, maybe in some areas. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and those people, they're all grumpy. They're fucking overworked. They lead poisoned since they were 13, and all they can care about is gay people. I don't like gay people. But then 10 years from now, they're gonna be gone. The loud minority will be eviscerated from the earth, God willing, and America will come back to its senses. We'll see a return to normalcy.
No,
and by that,
the Gen Xers, they are not going to change shit.
You mean the smallest generation in American history?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they got
the wonders of the pill.
Yeah, the wonders of the pill. Gen Z is the largest generation after the boomers.
The wonders of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because a lot of these like conservatives, they know that they're going to be like essentially like bred out because there's more Gen Zers than there are boomers, and yet they get rid of abortion to allow more Gen Zers to be born. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You should be pro-abortion.
You know that the Gen Z is not being born anymore. Gen Alpha is being born.
Yeah, but still, they're, hardly a difference.
Yeah.
Gen Alpha are all iPad babies. They're still, playing their Fortnites and shit.
Yeah, but they're getting red pilled on Fortnite with Andrew Tate videos. They're not going to be little libtards like you, Ivan. They're going to be like masculine, strong men who, want to have good agricultural. They're going to be strong, masculine men.
Yeah. Alpha's in the title, baby.
Yeah.
Good agriculture?
Yeah. Like
there ain't going to be no... When they turn 18, there ain't going to be no good agriculture left.
Oh, shit, dude. No fancy Burger Kings?
Nah, we're going to be the last generation to have the same privileges as the boomers. And then after that, it's water wars and resource wars and fighting over oil.
You don't have to be so negative in this review of Josie and the Pussycats.
I think I have a right to be. Which is also why I enjoy this movie. Quick conclusion. What do you guys think of the movie?
No, I hate it. I don't know why you made me watch this. I suggested this movie.
Because you're a girl and you like girl movies?
Yeah, girly girl. Don't you like girl movies?
I think that's another reason why people are hard on this, is that like it's a chick flick,
Yeah.
It's not a base guy movie like American Pie where you fuck the pie.
He fucked the pie.
Fuck the pie.
But there's no pie fucking in this movie. It's a shitty movie. It's about girls and their vaginas making music.
It was literally called Josie and the Pussycats.
Dude, when I saw this movie in theaters, I literally like demanded a refund because there was no intercourse with a pie in the movie.
All right, so yeah, out of like 10, what would you rank this movie, Synth?
10.
Like unironically?
Okay, 9. I'll give it a 9. It's really good. I had a lot of fun. Like this is kind of a hard episode to record because like there's not too much honestly to talk about it because it's just a really good movie, you know? Like I'm only really good at talking about bad movies. When it comes to like good movies, I'm just sort of like struck a bit, you know? So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
It is a bit of a struggle, I will say, to talk about good movies, and I'm sure this episode's probably going to be a flop because we're not just immediately saying, ew, girl movie. What do you think about that, girl? You think this girl movie sucks? Meet our new girl host. Let's roast the girl because we watched a girl movie. All right, Mab, what did you think of this movie out of 10?
I am gonna give it an 8. It's just like a all-American classic. I'm giving it an 8 just because like I've seen a lot of movies like in this kind of like teen black comedy genre, and it's definitely among like, you know, my favorites up there. Like I think it's like really, really up there. But I know like some other cult classics that I've enjoyed a lot more than this. Like my favorite one is a movie called Jawbreaker that I think came out around the same time.
No.
Have you seen Jawbreaker? You're not.
Yeah, I've seen Jawbreaker. It's not as good as this movie. Come on.
It's better than Heathers, I think. Jawbreaker.
Oh my fucking god!
We actually had some requests to view Heathers.
No, Heathers is much better than Jawbreaker. Like Jawbreaker, it's not like a terrible movie, but it's not a good movie. Jawbreaker is a very lazy movie. Jawbreaker has
lazy.
It's like that scene where it's like, oh, we got to make the unpopular girl who turned popular unpopular again, and it's like throwing flyers of papers of her being like,
it's a complex tale of corruption.
It is not. And plus like all the like look, I understand you got to get like people in their 20s to play like high schoolers because it's just based, and also you got some like union rules or whatever, but they all look fucking 30. They all look like 30 like 30 years old in those high school
that's
rules.
just how 20-year-olds looked back then.
And it
was all the RBST in the milk.
No,
that's when you could still smoke in diners.
That's when you could still smoke at school.
You actually think Jawbreaker is better than Josie and the Pussycats? I'm sorry, but you, my friend,
I've never seen
stupid.
I've never seen Jawbreakers or Heathers.
Yeah, I'm gonna break Mad's jaw right fucking.
What, through your voice alone?
All right, so
I know karate.
Yeah, well, how about you?
Vocal karate.
Yeah.
Vocal karate.
Who'd you learn under?
Master Bing Bong. All right. Anyways,
Master Bing Bong. Master Bing Bong's a fucking hack. He's a fucking fraud. Okay.
Okay. No, can I give my fucking rating of the movie now?
I learned karate under Movie Bob.
Who the fuck is Movie Bob?
Okay, you know you're stupid. Go.
Movie Bob's my fucking sugar daddy.
Yeah, Movie Bob, total dilf.
Total dilf.
Movie Bob makes me Mountain Dew chicken for dinner every night.
What the fuck?
That's a real thing he did.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You made Dr. Pepper beans. Shut the fuck up, Ivan.
Yeah, but those were sold in a can as Dr. Pepper beans. I didn't fucking mix potions together to make fucking Mountain Dew chicken.
Well, at least he has the excuse. He didn't like pay you for Mountain Dew chicken. You'll always be known as the guy who like physically like went to the store, picked up, and bought Dr. Pepper beans.
You know, the crazy part about that is I didn't. It was a gift.
Well, you associate your people who buy that shit.
I think they bought it for me as a joke.
Even as a joke, you should kill yourself.
All right.
No,
Anyways,
wait. Please don't kill yourself, because I could be liable if you actually do that. Please don't.
well, we caught it on recording here. Synth is liable if I shoot myself. Let's go,
No.
fellas. I'm gonna claim my good buddy Lem on my life insurance. You're gonna have to pay him after I'm gone. Goodbye.
Oh shit.
Anyways, my review of the movie, I give it like a 9. I thought it was very enjoyable. I really loved the kind of like over the top, but also subtle in a way, just like anti-corporatism, anti-consumerism. It kind of like made these like basic tenets of like capitalism seem like a massive conspiracy, even though that's just how like these companies work. Like, yeah, you know, music is selling stuff to you. Music is selling music to you. That's like the purpose of music nowadays. You know, that's why Dr. Dre made the fucking Dre beats. You know, that's it's just all to sell products to people. And
Hey, product. Sometimes products are nice. It's nice to have products, okay?
least brainwashed Amazon customer over here. Amazon Prime member number 01526 over here. Products are nice.
I like them.
I like products. I like receiving things.
I like my things, man.
I like my products. I like purchasing things that arrive in cardboard boxes, and then I open them, and then I have a thing.
I'm sorry for having toilet paper.
I like buying cubic zirconium rings for 50 cents off of wish.com.
Man, fuck you guys.
I like buying cubic zirconium rings. I gift my totally real girlfriend cubic zirconium rings all the time that are totally not filled with cadmium and uranium.
You guys are turning me into Pinochet here. Oh my god, guys, come on!
Oh come on! You don't think a girl with a green finger ain't hot?
Yeah, I guess I'd fuck She-Hulk.
Oh god. All right, that's the end of the show, everyone. Thank you for watching Zoomer Tombstone and our review of Josie and the Pussycats. Any final words?
Girl power.
Jason and the Pussycats, long swords and treasure in treasure chests.
You choking on a jawbreaker?
We got tattoos on our chest. Except for Larry.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
In